Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Śrī Gurave Namaha. Śrī Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatari. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Sri Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is June 3rd, 2026, and we're reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 10, the Lord's return to Jagannath Purī. So we saw that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu told Kala Krishnadas to leave home, and to leave him, to just go wherever he desired. The Lord was not going to be responsible for him anymore. And then, by the mercy of devotees like Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda Pandit, Mukunda, etc., Kala Krishnadas got the service. Even though he was sent away from Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, they managed to engage him in the Lord's service. So they sent him to Bengal, to Navadvīpa, to inform Sachi Mata and the other devotees about the Lord's return to Purī after completing his South India tour. Then when Kala Krishnadas came and informed them, when the devotees of Bengal came to know about this, they all came and gathered at the house of Srila Advaita Ācārya. They all became so happy. And there was a festival at the house of Advaita Ācārya. Then, by the end of that festival, Srila Advaita Ācārya had, he became, he came to the firm decision that now they all should go to Jagannath Purī to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So then, taking permission of Sachi Mata, all the devotees started off from Navadvīpa to go to Jagannath Purī. And we also saw, while traveling in this way, after Srila Advaita Ācārya left with the devotees, now various devotees in Bengal, they also started joining Advaita Ācārya's traveling group. They were traveling the party, the devotee yatra that was now going to Jagannath Purī. So we saw who were the various devotees from Kulinagram, like Satyaraj Khan and Ramananda Vasu, and also devotees from Shri Khanda, like Mukunda Sarkar, Narahari Sarkar, Raghunandan Thakur. They all joined Srila Advaita Ācārya to go to Jagannath Puri. Then we also read that meanwhile, Paramananda Puri, who had visited Jagannath Puri previously and then had now come to West Bengal and was traveling along the banks of river Ganga. He had come specifically to take darshan of Gangaji. So he was traveling along the banks of river Ganga, and traveling, he came to Sachi Mata's house in Navadvīpa finally. And there he got his boarding and lodging at Sachi Mata's house. That means he would take prasadam there, and he was staying there. And she also served him very respectfully. He was a sannyasi yes, a Vaishnava. While he was staying there, he came to know that all the devotees from Jagannath Puri, all the devotees from Navadvīpa, actually from all of Bengal, they gathered at Navadvīpa, and now they started off to go to Jagannath Puri to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Hearing this, Paramananda Puri also decided that he should also go to Jagannath Puri as soon as possible. Oh, Mahaprabhu is back now in he's back in Puri. Because remember, the Lord had requested Paramananda Puri to please visit Puri after he returned from South India, because he wanted to spend time with Paramananda Puri. So when he came to know about this, he became very, very happy. So he didn't go and join with the group of devotees that was going with Advaita Ācārya Prabhu. Rather, he took another devotee along with him, a devotee called Dvija Kamalakanta. Dvija Kamalakanta, that means a Brahmana, Kamalakanta, named Kamalakanta. He took him along with him, and he traveled towards Puri. So they went quickly instead of going with the group, because the group would be delayed. When you travel with a large group, then it becomes slower. So he went quickly. And he arrived at Jagannath Puri before the others. When Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu saw him, he became very pleased, and he actually was in great ecstasy. He worshipped the lotus feet of Paramananda Puri. You see, because Paramananda Puri is senior to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, being the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Paramananda Puri also embraced Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Then the Lord said, I have a great desire that you stay here in Nilachala. So please have mercy on me and accept the shelter of Nilachal. That means now you reside in Nilachal. Then Paramananda Puri said, it is I who wish to spend time with you, to stay in your association. That is the reason why I walked all the way from West Bengal and came to Jagannath Puri, so that I can be in your association. I am the one who wants to be in your association, not that you have to request me to stay here. I want to be in your association. That is why I have come from West Bengal. When I got news that you have returned from South India tour, actually so he said, so as soon as I heard about this, then I became so eager to come here. So he came back. But he's also informing how, hearing of your return from South India, Sachi Mata is very pleased, and so are all the devotees in West Bengal. And all of them are now coming to see you. And I didn't come with them because I saw that they will be delayed, because they are coming in a group. So they will be delayed. I couldn't wait. So I came very quickly. I came alone so that I can come and see you quickly. Then Mahaprabhu arranged for the residence of Paramananda Puri in Nilachala. Mahaprabhu is residing in Kashi Mishra's house. Mahaprabhu himself is residing in Kashi Mishra's house. And now he arranged for Paramananda Puri stay also in Kashi Mishra's house. So in another room in Kashi Mishra's house, he arranged for the stay of Paramananda Puri. So now they could spend time together. And not only did he give him a room to stay, he also gave him a servant, because sannyasis are given a servant. A brahmachari servant is usually there to assist the sannyasi. And anyway, so normally, the sannyasis have a brahmachari servant, and based on the title of the sannyasi, his brahmachari servant will also have a certain title. Like Chaitanya is the title of a brahmachari who is serving the sannyasi Bharati. Similarly, Svarūpa is the title of a brahmachari who is serving the sannyasi of the title Ashrama, like that, or Tirtha, either of the sannyasis. Their servant is called Svarūpa, like Svarūpa Dāmodara, like that. Of course, in case of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, they were both sannyasis, but they maintained the title of a brahmachari to show that Vaishnavas, whether you're a sannyasi or whoever you may be, the living entity is always a servant of the Supreme Lord. You never become the Lord, you never become master. Because at that time, according to Mayavad influence, by the teachings of, in the ashram of Shankaracharya, the system was, once a person takes sannyas, then that sannyasi is treated like Narayan, and they even call him as Narayan, Namo Narayanaya, like that. They address each other, the sannyasis address each other as Namo Narayanaya. That means now this person has become Ishvara, Narayan. To just so that this offense will not be committed, and to make a statement that even if you are sannyasi or whoever you may be, the position of the living entity is to be a servant of the Supreme Lord. Jivera Svarūpa hoy Krishnera Nityadas. That's why they kept the title. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu kept his brahmachari title and his name was Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And similarly, Damodar was his brahmachari name, and he kept the title Svarūpa, Damodar Svarūpa, like that. So that was just an extra point. Why, how to identify the brahmachari of. So by the title of the brahmachari, you can understand which school he belongs to. Within the, there are 10 sannyasi titles. You can understand, whose servant he is, what is the title of the sannyasi that he's serving, like that. You can simply know, by knowing his name, you can understand, like that. So anyway, so Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu arranged for a servant for Paramananda Puri. Not only did he give him a residence in Kashi Mishra's house, he also gave him a servant. So in this way, Paramananda Puri has now come and joined Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Now, the next day, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami also arrived in Jagannath Puri. So this is very significant. Why? Because these two devotees, Paramananda Puri and Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, actually there's one more. In Mahaprabhu's Jagannath Puri, his later pastimes, Mahaprabhu's later pastimes in Jagannath Puri, we will see 3.5 devotees. 3.5 devotees are very, very intimate with him. They're always with him. They rendered service, the close associates of the Lord. So And now we are seeing one by one how they are coming into the association of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So first Paramananda Puri arrived, and we saw how Paramananda Puri has come. First we saw when Mahaprabhu was traveling in South India, how he met Paramananda Puri. Then how he called him to come to Jagannath Puri, and now Paramananda Puri has arrived. He got news from Sachi Mata in Bengal. When he came to Navadvīpa, he got news and he came. So who are these 3.5 devotees, and why half? That will also come. But the names of these devotees are Paramananda Puri, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, Ramananda Rai. And half is Shikhi Mahiti's, I think Shikhi Mahiti only. Anyway, we'll find out. So she was a Mataji. I think his sister, Madhavi is the name, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I read, but we will come to that. When we come to that, we will read. So now the point here is how one by one these devotees are now coming in the association of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Those intimate associates who are going to be with him through this Leela, the later pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Paramananda Puri has arrived, and the next day, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami has arrived. So, Āradina Aila Svarūpa Dāmodara prabhura Atyanta Marmi Rasera Sagar. So that's where we stopped in our last session. About Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, it is said, Atyanta Marmi Rasera Sagar. Marma means secret. Atyanta Marmi. That means he knows the most confidential, the secret of all secrets. Atyanta Marmi. Marma is secret. Marmi is one who knows that secret, who knows secrets. So here, very confidential, in other words, one very, very confidential. He is a very intimate, confidential friend. Who is Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami? Lalita Sakhi. So, Atyanta Marmi, Rasera Sagar, and an ocean of rasas. That means he knows the confidential truths, and also he is completely knowledgeable of the rasa. Rasa means what? Rasa means taste. That means from different mellows. That means when do you see rasa? Where do you see rasa? Rasa is seen when one comes to prema, the topmost stage in bhakti. When one gets love of Godhead, there you will see rasa. Previous to prema is bhava. Bhava means now you get that particular. So when you say rasa, rasa has various components. Just like a drink. You make a drink, you put different components in that. There is water, there is flavor, or various fruits or vegetables, and even like you can put mint and different like that. And then depends on what drink you're making. Sometimes sugar and sometimes salt, like that. Different ingredients you add, and then you make a very nice, tasteful drink. So that final taste that you get from that drink, that is rasa, taste. To get that rasa, you have to add all these ingredients. In the drink also, what is the main ingredient? What is the main ingredient in the drink? Water, isn't it? That's the largest quantity. And then you put the other things also. Similarly, in rasa, what is the main component? The main component is bhava. That sthai bhava it is called. Sthai bhava means like these 5 primary relationships. Like you have Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. This is called sthai bhava. So one gets this bhava when one is even in bhava stage. So you have sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhava and prema. So in bhava stage, you get a relationship. You get a sthai bhava. Sthai bhava means now you know your relationship with the Lord. Either it is in conjugal relationship or it is in dasya bhava, like that. You get a particular relationship with the Lord. That happens in bhava stage itself. And also that relationship you get, how you get, following in the footsteps of a devotee, an eternally liberated devotee who is already in that relationship with the Lord, by following in the footsteps of that devotee, by worshipping that devotee, following in the footsteps of that devotee, by the mercy of that devotee and by the mercy of the Lord, you receive the bhava that is in the heart of that devotee, you receive a portion of that in your heart. And that's when you become a bhava bhakta. But what is prema? When you come to prema, along with this sthai bhava, there are other ingredients that come. Anubhava, vibhava, sanchari bhava, like this. These are added to the sthai bhava. Just like when you make a drink, you need water, you need, different flavors, sugar, maybe ice, different ingredients are added to water, and then you get a very nice drink. Water is also quenching your thirst. But when you drink this nice drink, it gives so much pleasure, isn't it? It gives you a lot of pleasure. Like that, bhava stage, you get the relationship. And of course, in bhava, there is so much pleasure. But when you come to prema, it's even more. So in prema, what are you getting in prema? That rasa. How is that rasa formed? By adding different ingredients, including this ingredient of sthai bhava. And rasas are how many types? Oh, many different types that you can understand, right? Even ordinarily in this material world, people come up with so many recipes. A little bit, you just change the proportions of different, with the same ingredients, you can make different types of rasas, different types of tastes by adjusting the proportion of ingredients, isn't it? And what to speak of adding different ingredients. So similarly, rasas are also, you'll find many. Of course, we have primary rasas. Again, so you said bhava, sthai bhava, you have dasya, shanta dasya, sakhya, vatsalya, madhurya. These are bhavas. Now you have rasa also, shanta rasa. So now what is the difference between rasa and bhava? Bhava means you have that sthai bhava, that relationship is there. When you say shanta rasa, that means in addition to that bhava, other ingredients are added, which makes that experience very, very delicious, relishable. So there are different types of rasas. That's the point. Rasas. And Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami is an expert. He is an ocean of these rasas. So you can understand, one who is an ocean of these rasas means how mature that person is in that love. How exalted that person is. How experienced that person is in that love. Like that. Rasera Sagar. Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami is an ocean of rasas. So this devotee is expert in, so who is supposed to enjoy these rasas? Krishna. But when Krishna enjoys, it's not that Krishna is enjoying himself in this material world. The slave is working and working and working, and the master is enjoying and the slave is suffering. Is it like that in Krishna's case, in a relationship with Krishna? No. The more you give pleasure to Krishna, the more you yourself become happy. Even in our neophyte stage, we see whatever little, how do you become happy? The more pleasure you give to Krishna, the more you yourself become happy. That's all. Simple. The more the Lord is pleased, and the Lord is pleased with your sincerity. When we sincerely try to serve the Lord in any way, wanting to please Him, if He is pleased, you yourself become pleased. Prahlad Maharaj says this. that when you decorate the face, the reflection in the mirror, the reflection of the face in the mirror, that reflection becomes beautiful. So my face is like Krishna, and the reflection of that is like the living entity. Okay? So when we decorate the face, the reflection becomes beautiful. So when we serve Krishna, and when Krishna is pleased by our service, then I will become happy. I will become pleased. That's all. So who is not wanting to be pleased? Who is not wanting to be happy? Everyone is wanting to be happy. Everybody. Anandamayo bhyasat. Anandamaya abhyasat. That means everybody is trying for that ananda. Only we don't know where to look for it. We all want to be happy, but karmis are looking for happiness in material things. Jnanis are looking for happiness in liberation. Bhaktas are looking for happiness in bhakti. But what is the highest type of bhakti? The pleasure that you get from prema. That's the highest. That's the topmost. So how do you get that? By giving pleasure to Krishna. So when you say one is expert in rasa, what does it mean? He is expert in offering various rasas to Krishna, giving him great pleasure. And naturally, when one is expert in giving pleasure to Krishna, it's understood the person is also very blissful. This is the beauty of bhakti. It is swa para prakashini. Why swa? Because bhakti is the energy of the Lord. The way a lamp, when a lamp is lit, the lamp is lighting. First of all, you will see the lamp also. When you light the lamp, you will see the lamp. And not only do you see the lamp, you will see all the objects that are surrounding the lamp. Isn't it? Swa para prakashini. A lamp lights up itself and others. Similarly, bhakti is also giving pleasure to the self and also to all others who are involved there. So to the self means, bhakti is giving pleasure to the self means what? Bhakti is the internal energy of the Lord. So therefore it is part of him. His internal energy, Svarūpa Shakti. Bhakti is the condensed form of his Haladini Shakti of Svarūpa Shakti. Within Svarūpa Shakti you have Sandhini Samvid Haladini. Pleasure-giving potency. The condensed form of that pleasure-giving potency is bhakti. That bhakti, his own pleasure potency, now he has invested in the hearts of his devotees. So when you say this bhakti, wherever there is bhakti, bhakti is giving pleasure to the self means bhakti belongs to whom? Bhakti is the internal energy of the Lord. So bhakti is giving pleasure to the Lord. To the self means to the Lord. So when you perform bhakti, it is pleasing the Lord. Like that lamp, which is swa prakashini, it is lighting itself. Lighting means it is illuminating itself, it is showing itself. Similarly, bhakti is giving pleasure to the Lord. When we perform bhakti, it gives pleasure to the Lord. But at the same time, not only is it giving pleasure to the Lord, it is also giving pleasure to the person who is involved, the devotee, or the devotees who are rendering bhakti. Swa para prakashini. Why para? Because living entities are the marginal potency of the Lord. So they are also getting pleasure. The Lord is getting pleasure and the devotees are also getting pleasure. Swa para prakashini. Bhakti is like that. The way the lamp illuminates itself and it illuminates others. Like that, bhakti gives pleasure to the self. That means pleasure to the Lord and to the devotees also. So, one who is very knowledgeable in this rasa, what is his condition? Like Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. We are talking about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. He is Rasera Sagar. He is an ocean of rasa. Rasa means what? Sandrananda Visheshatma, right? This is the characteristic feature of Prema Bhakti. Sandrananda. Sandrananda means condensed Ananda. It's extremely like you have milk and you have rabdi. Rabdi is condensed milk. Like that, Sandrananda means condensed form of pleasure. The most, thick, pleasure. And Sri Krishna Akarshini, this is also a characteristic of Prema Bhakti. It is very attractive to Krishna. If somebody has this Prema Rasa, then like a honeybee is going after the flower, because the flower has honey, the honeybee is just going around. Like that, the heart of the devotee is like a lotus. And the Lord, and that lotus which has this Prema Rasa, then the Lord is always going after that devotee for that Prema. And what to speak of someone like Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, who is an ocean of rasas? How much the Lord must be attracted. And that means Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami is so expert in giving pleasure to the Lord. That's the point. And what I'm saying about Swapara Prakashini, if somebody has this type of bhakti, he is giving so much pleasure to the Lord, obviously he himself is also very blissful, because bhakti is giving pleasure not only to the Lord but also to the devotee. Swapara Prakashini. So this is still, we are still doing a recap. The point here is, first Paramananda Puri arrived, Mahaprabhu gave him a residence in the same place where he is staying, in Kashi Mishra's house, in another room. He gave residence to Paramananda Puri, and the very next day Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami arrives. So these are the confidential associates of the Lord that are going to stay with the Lord. Svarūpa Dāmodara also arrived the next day. He was a very intimate friend of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's, and he was an ocean of transcendental mellows. Svarūpa is one of the, okay, we discussed this already. And we can discuss further about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Actually, there is the glories of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I can show you that also, since we are talking about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. Although we are running out of time, but I'll just quickly share some points about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. That is. You are seeing text 128. Am I sharing the right screen? Krodha Rupa Jagannātha Vidyanidhi Dekha.
Yes, Mataji.
You're seeing. Okay. So I wanted to show you the glories of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. 1 second. How they came one by one, that's the point here. Okay, this is Svarūpa Dāmodara. I'm just reading from Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda, chapter 10. This is actually the last chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat. And we hear about the glories of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. So first Paramananda Puri arrives. So now we are hearing about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. Bhagavata Pathe Gadadhara Mahashay Damodara Swarupera Kirtana Vishay. Just as Gadadhar was expert in reciting Bhagavatam, Svarūpa Dāmodara was expert in performing Kirtan. So another devotee in Puri is Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is such a devotee. You will find him both in Mahaprabhu's Navadvīpa pastimes, in his childhood pastimes, Navadvīpa pastimes, and also in later pastimes. He's always with the Lord. Every day the Lord would go and hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So just as Gadadhar Pandit was expert in reciting Bhagavatam, Svarūpa Dāmodara was expert in performing Kirtan. Sri Gadadhar Pandit was most expert in explaining Srimad Bhagavatam. The 4 objectives of life, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, ultimately become the goal of those who study and teach Srimad Bhagavatam to accumulate food, cloth, family maintenance, and other insignificant fruits. What did you hear here? Of course, this is not our topic, but because it came, I'm reading this. So dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So these are the purusharthas. Actually, ultimate, the pancham purushartha and the highest purushartha is prema. That's the highest, actually, bhakti. But anyway, ultimately become the goal of those who study and teach Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you study Srimad Bhagavatam, just hear this, this is an important point. If you study Srimad Bhagavatam or you teach Srimad Bhagavatam, both are said. If either you study or you teach Srimad Bhagavatam in order to accumulate food, cloth, family maintenance, and other insignificant fruits. If you are studying Bhagavatam or teaching Bhagavatam for material results, then what will be the goal of your life? You will not be able to see, you will not even be able to aspire for prema as the goal of your life. Rather, by studying that Bhagavatam, you will see the object is dharma, artha, kama, and at most you can come to moksha. I have to get liberated from this material existence. You will not be able to see that the goal of studying Srimad Bhagavatam is to get Krishna prema. You will not be able to see that. When will you not be able to see that? If you are actually studying Bhagavatam to get some material result, with the intention of some material result, then you will miss the purpose of Bhagavatam. The purpose of studying and teaching Bhagavatam is to get Krishna prema. Instead of that, now you will see that the goal of life is dharma, artha, kama. You won't see what is the real goal of life. If you study and teach Srimad Bhagavatam to get some, sometimes they charge and things like that, right? Or they want to make, devotees also think in a neophyte state, they think that instead of doing some job outside, I can, study Bhagavatam and teach Bhagavatam and, like start a college or something where I will charge fees. And by that, I can maintain my livelihood. No, you should not make studying and teaching Bhagavatam the means of your livelihood. What is the problem there? By that, you will lose. You will not see the goal of life as Krishna prema. You will see the goal of life as dharma, artha, kama, moksha only. Anyway, so that was about Gadadhar Pandit's glory. Gadadhar Pandit is an expert in studying Srimad Bhagavatam, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. But Sri Gadadhar Pandit's recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam and Sriman Mahaprabhu's hearing and chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam were not aimed at attaining these four objectives of life. Śrī Damodar Svarūpa was always engaged. So now that was about Gadadhar Pandit, who's expert in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Here our topic is Srila Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. What is his expertise? What is he expert at? Śrī Damodar Svarūpa was always engaged in glorifying the topics of Hari. How? Not through katha or Bhagavatam recitation. He would sing. He would sing. He had no engagement other than glorifying the qualities of Krishna, Hari. Śrī Damodar Svarūpa was the topmost authority on the conclusions regarding devotional service. He would always engage in pure Krishna Kirtan without becoming influenced by others' opinions, persistent requests, or mixed doctrines. So, even though others may request him or others may have their opinions other than Krishna prema, or people may have mixed, like you have mixed bhakti, mixed doctrines. In spite of coming in their association, he would always engage in pure Krishna Kirtan. Kirtan, actually, even Krishna Katha, when you do, that is also called Kirtan only. Anyway, so the Mayavadi's desire for liberation and the attached householders' desire for sense gratification did not induce Sri Damodar Svarūpa to indulge in associating with others. That means, in spite of coming in the association of Mayavadis who desire liberation, or coming in the association of householders who desire sense gratification. That means we get influenced, isn't it? If you are not strong in bhakti yourself, when you come in the association of powerful Mayavadis, you become shaken. Or you come in the association of very wealthy, sense gratifying grihasthas, you look at their house and their opulence, you may get that desire. I wish I also had this type of facility, this type of house and everything, and I can also nicely practice Krishna consciousness when I have all this facility. So let me work first and earn so that I will all this will happen. But in his case, even though he came in the association of Mayavadis or Grihasthas with lot of opulence, he would not budge from his pure devotion. It could not induce him to indulge in associating with outsiders. Even though he came, it would not make him, like he won't become more interested to, let me find out more about how to get liberation, or no interest there, or how to earn, or how to improve some material condition. No. He exclusively gave pleasure to Sri Gaur Sundar's heart. I'm just reading Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami's glories from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Ekeshwara Damodara Svarūpa Guna Gaya Vihvala Hoya Nache Sri Gauranga Rai. When Svarūpa Damodar chanted the qualities of Krishna, who is one without a second, Lord Gauranga would become overwhelmed and would dance in ecstasy. So, if you have this type of purity of purpose and this type of purity in your bhakti, what type of effect does it have on Krishna? He becomes overwhelmed in ecstasy by your bhakti. When Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami would sing the glories of the Lord, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu would become so overwhelmed that he would start dancing in ecstasy. Ashrukampa hasya murcha pulaka hunkar jata kichu ache prema bhaktira vikar murti manta sabe thake ishwarera sthane nache na chaitanya chandra iha sabasane. So and not only was he dancing, these various manifestations of ecstasy were seen on the body of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Tears, trembling of the body, he would start laughing loudly, he would faint. Pulaka means becoming jubilant. Hunkar means he would roar loudly. Whatever there were, various symptoms of ecstasy, they were all manifest on the body of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu when he would hear Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami perform kirtan. Murti manta sabe thake. And these ecstasies personified, they stayed in the Lord. And Mahaprabhu would dance with all these personalities of ecstasy. Damodara Swarupera Ucha Sankirtana Shunilena Thake Bahya Pade Se Ikshana. When the Lord heard the loud chanting of Svarūpa Damodar, he would lose consciousness and fall to the ground. Shunile na thake bahya. He would not have external consciousness, basically. Pade sei kshana. On hearing the loud kirtan of Sri Damodar Swarupa, Sri Gaur Sundar forgot the conception of the external world and manifest the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. He just lost external consciousness and he would just be completely absorbed. He would lose external consciousness. He's only absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Krishna Prem. Sannyasi Parshada Jata Ishwarera Hoy Damodara Swarupa Samana Keho Noi. So there were as many sannyasis there were in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association. Nobody was equal to Svarūpa Damodar Goswami. This is the glory of Srila Svarūpa Damodar Goswami. This is not all the glory, just a little bit I said, but we are running out of time. So we will stop here. I wanted to actually, I only gave a recap. I didn't read. Let's read one verse from today. So what we read was that now Svarūpa Damodar Goswami has come. Other devotees also come. One by one they are coming. So 103, today's verse is Puruṣottama Ācārya Tara nāma pūrvāśrame. Acha, we are still reading about Svarūpa Damodar Goswami. Puruṣottama Ācārya Tara nāma pūrvāśrame navadvīpe chilā teho prabhura caraṇe. Puruṣottama Ācārya. So Svarūpa Damodar Goswami's name was Puruṣottama Ācārya in his previous ashram. Now he's a sannyasi. So in his previous ashram, when he was before he took sannyas, before that, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. Puruṣottama Ācārya Tara nāma pūrvāśrame navadvīpe chilā teṅha prabhura caraṇe. So he was living in Navadvīpa. When Svarūpa Damodar Goswami was residing at Navadvīpa under the shelter of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. So if you ever wonder, kahan se aa gaye all of a sudden Puruṣottama, Svarūpa Damodar Goswami, who is he? Like he just dropped there all of a sudden, because we don't see, like not that there is some introduction or anything, now we are seeing the introduction. He's actually already known to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He's from Navadvīpa only, but previously he was not a sannyasi. That means he was in the Grihastha ashram. And his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. Puruṣottama Ācārya. And he was
he was in the association of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu in Navadvīpa. But after that, he went to Kasi, Benares, and there first he was a brahmachari. That's why he gets the name Svarūpa, Svarūpa. And then he accepts sannyas. But even after accepting sannyas, he keeps his brahmachari title of Svarūpa. So he's Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. Okay. So in his previous ashram, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. That's the point. When Svarūpa Dāmodara was residing at Navadvīpa under the shelter of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. So I think we will stop there. All I did today was I gave a recap of where we left off, and we will continue tomorrow. And this is the time I'm thinking we will do our class. If possible, I can even do it a little earlier if we need more time, maybe half an hour earlier, but let's go by this for now. I started around 3:30 up to 4:30. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah, Ananta Koti Vaishnavebhyo ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.